United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
My apologies.
Good evening, folks. We're going to have a kind of a rushed meeting tonight, but I know you folks are here to say something, so we'll have public comment right off the beginning, but there'll be no public comment at the end. Anything.
My name is Chris Oram. I'm here on behalf of the residents of Bellevue Road. Again, so my neighbor, Mr. Alvira, has made a nice diagram for those who haven't been up to the site to see exactly what's going on there. I'll leave this top. It was stated that we only, and I'm quoting, we only added 2 culverts. The situation being is you added to something that was already a problem. There was 5 culverts pointed at our road that the issue on July 9th demolished our road. So instead of remediating the issue or redirecting some of the water, more was added to it. Then it was brought up that our culvert was undersized or possibly not capable of handling the water that was being sent its direction. Prior to July 9th, we had a 12-inch culvert, corrugated. I installed a 24-inch culvert, which has the capacity of carrying roughly 2,900 gallons per minute. The problem being is that the town is dumping, not just, gently sending. It falls about 20-ish feet off of Canterbury down into the valley. So prior to this storm, there was, a nice collection of old tires in there, debris from the fall, all the sticks and branches that were slowing the water down a bit. Those aren't there anymore. They're down in the Hudson River from that storm. So anything that was slowing this water down is gone. You've been up to the site. Quite a few people have been there at this point. I thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to come see what's actually going on up there. But there's ravines carved into the mountainside at this point. It was also brought to my attention that the valley is a natural waterway. I would agree up until the point that it is being redirected from a holding pond. There's nothing natural about a holding pond. That's man-made. Being redirected from one side of the road to the other. It's being redirected in several situations and then finding its way through culverts and everything like that. So again, I ask for some consideration and some more attention to what's really going on up there. Because, and I've stated this before to several people, that you can't just dump all this water on private property and expect us to be financially liable. There's precedent already set, so let's look into it and see what we can do about it. I'm just here pleading with you because I've asked privately. Now I'm looking for some response. It was nice to see you guys up there, but again, it's not a response. You showed face after a meeting. That's great. I thank you for that. But I'm looking for something. You want to tell me to go kick rocks? We can make other plans, or we can step in and, as the town, do the right thing for its residents. Thank you very much for your time.
Linda Elvira of Bellevue Road as well. Thank you. We got a call today from Mr. Boyce, but unfortunately he informed us that the town engineer advised him that legally the town cannot do anything to work on our road. So I don't know if I'm allowed to ask the attorney sitting here or through the town. I would like to ask the attorney, please. I would like to see the law the issue on our road. So we'd like to see also where it says that you cannot, with permission of us, come on and fix what you created on our private road. We're not asking you to maintain our road. We're not asking you to, do anything like that. We're asking you to fix the water coming to our road, get it to the other side where you are also diverting the road, the water off. So 2 things we're asking of the lawyer, please. One, did you get both things?
I'll
I
talk to the
diverted.
board, that's not my determination.
Okay, so I don't know the way it works. So one is where it says you cannot be on our road if we give you permission, not to maintain, but to,
I don't have that to give it to you right now.
I know,
will
but
get
at
it.
some point,
Okay.
right? And also, once again, where it states in law that you have the okay legally to take water on a public spot, divert it onto a private property on purpose, and then make it even worse, pick it up on the other side of our property. So we'd like to see the law where it gives you, the town, permission. Okay?
I'll try to get you something.
Thank you very much. You need phone number, emails, what you have?
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to.
Sure, no, please provide that
Okay.
information. It doesn't have to be right now, or
Just as easy, I'll give it.
I think we have Mr. Orum's contact. We could,
Okay, we were all
whatever
in
the
touch
board
with
is
each
willing
other.
to share, I'll send through Mr. Orum and he can share with the
Absolutely.
group.
Thank you, thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes?
I just have 2 things quick on sanitation. Can I get an update on the seal for the garbage truck? I know that it was ordered. Has it come in?
No, it
Yet?
hasn't. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
I ordered, when I spoke to you the first time up there, that was my, that was like my part, I forgot to order it. When you contact the supervisor, the order is that day, probably within 2 hours, it has not been yet. As soon as it does, we'll take care of that.
Okay.
I saw the video, by the way. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's very plain.
Yeah, it's just gross.
Yeah.
And also the bulk garbage that's around the village, still, I don't know if it's particularly from the flood situation or otherwise, but there seems to be several properties that still have large amounts of garbage out front. I know that it was out in the newspaper that we were not picking up from the flood any longer, correct? If that's the case, do these people need to be notified, or do they need to be calling for the bulk pickup to be scheduled, or whatever the case is with that?
Gary, you have an answer?
I believe most of the bulk, you can see now, we started the regular bulk pickup last week. A lot of it didn't get done because of the holiday. We're working on that today. Last week's are almost finished with the list, and there's another full list. So I expect that's mostly what you're looking at. Probably another 35, 40 stops in the village alone.
Okay.
I don't think it's storm debris anymore, maybe a little bit. For the most part, it's just regular bulk pickup stops.
There are some things that are even like concrete debris that's out and about in certain
That's
areas.
the village on the sidewalk, along one wall, that's the village's responsibility or code enforcement. That's not the sanitation crew doesn't pick that up.
Okay, the code enforcement is through the building department.
Yes.
There was actually quite a lot of discussion at the last village board meeting about the condition of the overall appearance of our communities here and in regards to the building department and the code enforcement. And I know that they're all overwhelmed even just with regular duties, not to include everything that went on with the flood. So I don't know if there's any way that could be some help in the building
I
department
watched
for
that
code
meeting.
enforcement.
Mr. DeSalvo was the liaison to the building department for a good number of years. Never once did he communicate with me. I'm the liaison. So anything you see out there, bring it to my attention and to Philip's attention, and we'll address it. If you go to the village board meeting, they're in the habit of saying that we stink and that we're overwhelmed. We're not overwhelmed. We're doing pretty good. And you identify anything, I heard talk about dirty windows, which is not a code violation, but the general appearance of the village, including that purple and yellow house on Mountain Avenue was discussed, That house was red tagged by the storm, and the owner has abandoned it to the county several times. No one's gonna come do anything about it. It's gonna fall into the river is what's gonna happen. So please, my name is Richie Sullivan. My email's on the website. For years, people go to the village board and do an end around rather than coming directly to me. And if you come to me with anything you know of, you will get results, I promise you.
Okay. Well, I want to say that I do know Phil. We work with him throughout the town, and I think that he is fantastic, and he is very good at his job. I think that to some degree there's a little bit of disconnect in knowing exactly where to go for what situations, village and town
Yeah.
alike. So just trying to,
Are you a village resident?
I am.
They've done this before. About 20 years ago, they hired their own code enforcement officer. He quit after a month. I don't think he could put up with their bosses or whatever. So anyway, if they want to choose to do that again, I'm going to tell you the story. Our building department during COVID had somebody quit with a week's notice. We hired someone. That person quit after a month. We interviewed people. There was one guy in the civil service list that took the test and scored well, but did not have BSI or CEO, none of that. So we interviewed him, and we said, are you ready to go to work? He says, well, you're gonna have to send me to school so I can do the job. This is what the civil service list has to offer. So we have a professional engineer, our engineering firm, who's also code enforcement certified, as well as building safety and fire. And they're not overwhelmed. Philip is told to use them, and they do a great deal, including a matter in Fort Montgomery that went on for almost a year that went to the local courts. And I'm going to be careful here. Something that could have been 30 grand was reduced to $3,000 after a great deal of work by the building department. We can't help that. That's just the way that turned out. So I'm passionate about this. My name is Richie Sullivan. Email me. Bring to my attention anything and watch what happens, okay?
Okay, I appreciate the
Thank you.
clarification, and I will be in contact then. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay, we'll carry on with the rest of the meeting. Have the minutes of the August 28th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Communications, I have a letter from Aaron Falk asking to bring back Madison Copeland for soccer this fall. She will help coordinate the 4 and 5-year-olds and 6 and 8-year-olds on Tuesdays and Saturday mornings. She'll work approximately 10 hours a week. I met her, by the way, down at the summer camp. She's the summer camp director and doing a great job. And I would recommend we hire her. Do I have a motion to hire Madison?
Motion.
Second.
Copeland, and that whatever salary schedule you've got for that. All in favor?
Aye.
So carried, thank you. I'm not going to go through all of those finances. I transferred $152,189 to pay the bills of that week, the week of August 28th. Do I have a motion to accept the
Motion.
report?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I transferred,
Accepting the financial report.
excuse me?
She didn't hear what the motion,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry, the town clerk didn't hear the motion.
Okay. I also transferred $399,568, and I will read off these just for the benefit of some folks that are here, and we spent $34,252 to TAM on Wyant Road, $60,880 to TAM on Wyant Road, $677 to TAM Enterprises Wyant Road, $83,245 to TAM Enterprises Canterbury Road, $59,361 TAM Enterprises Mine Dock Road, $121,150 TAM Enterprises Mine Dock Road. Does the town board understand what
Yes,
I
sir.
just read off? And that's not the full expenses, that's only the highlights. And I won't ask you to approve that, because there was no need for that. Right, Justin?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, all right. I have budget transfers on a separate sheet. Controller equipment to audit, $100. Audit of LoSAP was not budgeted. From the contingent account to the town clerk printing, $500 over budget due to public hearing notices for bonds. Contingent account to town hall renovations, $1,500 over budget due to mold testing after the storm. Building department consultings to building department other expenses, $3,591 for building department software that was not budgeted for. Long Pond's personal services to recreation equipment, $1,182 for batteries and pads for defibrillator, which were not budgeted for. Long Pond personal services for Roe Park personal services, $12,300, hired more lifeguards than budgeted for. Long Pond personal services to Summer Rec personal services, $7,100, hired more counselors than budgeted for. And finally, Water District 2 utilities to Water District 2 personal services, $2,000 for work replacing endpoints. And there is one more, miscellaneous revenue to beautification, $721 to move money paid by Vision to beautification. Do I have a motion to accept the budget transfers as read?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried, thank you. Okay, we'll have some short board liaison reports. Start out with Dean.
Very short one for me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just the Ambulance Corps. We have the 30th Annual Fall Foliage Festival coming up on Saturday, October 21st, 2023. It's from 9 to 4 p.m. on North Main Street in Highland Falls. It's rain or shine. It's been very successful over the many years that it's been had. Draws in thousands of visitors, and it's located just outside the gates of West Point and through a municipal lot that's just up the road behind us. There are still plenty of spaces available as well if you'd like to set up a vendor tent. For a 10 by 10 spot is $120, and a 10 by 20 spot is $150. The more the merrier, as they say, and but it's usually a pretty good show. Lots of good arts and crafts there, fun things to do, lots of good food, and a great time to spend your day on a nice fall, crisp morning. So that is all I got for today.
Councilman King?
Just a couple of things. Good evening, everyone, and then good evening, everyone at home. One is that this is September, and in September it is Suicide Prevention Month. And for those who don't know, you can call or text 988, which serves as a universal entry point so that no matter where you live in the United States, you can reach a trained crisis counselor who can help. And I think the reason I emphasize that even more this particular year is, as you know, as we come out of the flood devastation and try to recover, on top of the advent of COVID and everything else that's going on, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and so we want to ensure that we look after one another, and so that's a resource that's out there. Likewise, September 15th to October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month, and a couple of years ago we were able to recognize some of our residents from the Hispanic community here at Memorial Park, and we intend to resurrect that again this year. We were unable to during COVID to keep it going, And so look forward to recognizing some of the folks in the community. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Sullivan.
Luckily for everybody, I have nothing prepared because I didn't have time. Hope everybody was well entertained by my serving papers by the gentleman from Peter Bloom's office. Anyway, on to our matters. On water, I'd like to thank Gary, because if you look at Ion Water, we're averaging about 65,000 gallons a day. Previously, that was almost up to 120,000 gallons a day. So that was 2 leaks that he fixed, one of which was about 45,000 gallons a day. So we're in good shape with water. And the water budget, Kelly, I got a little bit late. I think we're going to be in good, I think a year from now, this is going to be done for the most part with the meters, the fund balance, and all that stuff will be in good shape. Olga and I met here on Friday night with the Environmental Committee, and they do good work. Mindy Kimball moved away, and there are some vacancies on that committee. So if anybody's listening, we meet, is it the second Friday of the month, Olga? The second Friday of the month, we meet here. And there are some events coming up. I know you talked about the Garlic Festival up in Woodstock. And we talked about some different opportunities, which I'm not prepared to present because I don't have a report in front of me. But I want to thank her for coming here for that meeting. On the sewer plant down there, the flows are back where they were before the storm. Everything's working well down there. I have not met up with Jimmy in person in about 2 weeks. I know you're down there almost every day.
And I haven't seen him either.
Okay. No, well, he's there, but he's doing his thing, and he comes in at different times. So that's all flowing nicely, and things are getting done. The pump stations are all in good shape. After the storm, there was some rubble. We've recovered from most of that. Still need some work, and on that matter from FEMA. So with Chris, I would like to thank him for inviting me up to go up and take the time. I said at the last meeting I would be honest, and I was. And I went from downstream up. So you go down to the sewer plant, you had Nugent's daughter walked out of the house. Unfortunately, all that water is coming from about 500 acres. It's all coming downhill. It's coming from private people. It's coming from other people. You go up to firefighters. There were 3 houses rated firefighters red tagged. And I don't know if people are living in them just yet. They had a lot of work to do there. You go up there to Beatty Pond Road. That was washed out. They had to do some repairs. John Monteleone, right at 149 Canterbury, at the intersection of Locust and Canterbury, had a curved pipe. I went and took a picture of it one night, and next night it wasn't there because it was replaced. And I want to say there's been statements made. John Monteleone and the people of Torn paid TAM on their own. Nothing to do with us. I know what John paid. It was a pretty hefty amount of money. I'm not going to say it publicly. He's very happy because before it was going right into his house. He lost a car right to his garage door. He had people up there helping his garage door not to blow apart. Now it's channeled alongside of his house and buried in a pipe that he paid to install. What does that do? It's just like the levees on the Mississippi. It sends it downstream. So downstream becomes worse and worse as people do this, no matter who it is. That's a 55-acre area above where Bellevue Road was hurt. It's about 145 acres where Brooks's Park is at, Brooks's Lake, which flows in separately. That joins it down on Mondock Road. But the other area is like 300 and some acres with this pretty steep gradient. And after 11 inches of rain, I would submit no matter what you install, it's not going to handle it, okay? Do the best we can. So I just wanted to make clear that the town, to my knowledge, has not paid TAM to do anything on anybody's private property, because that statement has been made, and that's not true. And aside from that, on the building department, what's your name in the back?
Alita.
I'm glad that you came, and she spoke at the village board meeting about the building department. I do not like this village town thing that goes on. Years they've been saying that the water is dirty because we don't have a water tank. By Jove, we have a water tank down there, and we have for years. Could we just not do that anymore, please? The building department is passionate with me, And if the village of Highland Falls is falling apart for one reason or another, I'm going to tell you that it's not because of the building department. And in the village code, if they want to use their police, they can. It's right in their code. They can use their police for code enforcement if they choose to. You don't even have to hire another code enforcement officer. I'm sure I'll get a lot of phone calls about this tomorrow, so I just want to make clear that the town is on top of it, okay?
Thank you. Chief, do you have anything?
Just July statistics, August statistics, but those can wait till next week.
Okay. And Kelly, you had nothing? Gary, you have anything?
I'm sorry, me here.
That Gary.
I was here last week about the town of Highlands disaster fund. So we're meeting tomorrow to finalize everything. Have an article ready to go. Submitted to MJ tonight, so we'll go in the town of Highlands newspaper so people will know about it. We'll have two forms of how people can go in and apply for the grant. One will be online. The other will be there will be a hard copy here at the town of Highlands administration building as well as at the village library. So more to follow. You'll see an article come out tomorrow. There'll also be a little blurb in the article. If you want to donate money to the fund, you can go ahead and do that as well. There'll be instructions on how to do that. So that's all.
Thank you, Gary. Gary, the other Gary, you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Town of Highlands Justice Court is requesting authorization from the town board to apply for funding from the Justice Court Assistance Program during the up-and-coming year 2023-24 grant cycle. One required component is that the application is with a certified resolution from the town board authorizing the town court to apply for this funding. I have a resolution to authorize submission of an application to the Justice Court Assistant Program. Do I have a motion to move the resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember Yeager.
Aye.
Supervisor Lindsay.
Aye. I have a resolution to authorize a CREST grant as administered by the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York in connection with a grant application to obtain police signs and a car. Do I have a
Motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No, and my roll call, please.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember Yeager.
Aye.
Supervisor Lindsay.
Aye. Okay, finally, I have a resolution to introduce and schedule a public hearing to receive public comments concerning the enactment of a local law to override the tax levy limit established by General Municipal Law, Section 3C. That's, in other words, the tax cap. We're asking permission to override the tax cap if needed. If needed.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All, yeah, not all.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember Yeager.
Aye.
Supervisor Lindsay.
Aye. I'll ask for a resolution to continue forgiving building permit fees for storm damage. For the last 2 months, it was a declaration of emergency done by me. Within that declaration, I was allowed to do things such as that. Now the 2 months are up. The emergency situation as far as the town goes is over. So I'm asking for a motion to continue forgiving permit fees for storm damage.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Thank you. Town board have anything more?
Just with Ty, there was a very nice, very quickly put together ceremony for Edward Smith, was that his name? Snowdrop's husband down there at the gazebo. I know you would talk about that. What I want to say to Chris and the people over there is Chris Yukis was there, our assemblyman, and I brought it to his attention, the public and private thing. In that video I sent you, there's a people to contact from FEMA, because we had a FEMA meeting, and before I couldn't make it, but I emailed the person in charge of that meeting asking what about all the people that have private concerns, and she emailed me back something which I included in that video if you look at it, with some contacts. If you don't contact them, I will. And I did notify Scoofus, I notified Chris Ekis to do whatever they can for you. They don't have your contact information. If you want me to give them your cell phone number, I will.
I've spoken with all of them
Okay.
individually.
Okay.
Justin Rodriguez from Scoop's office and quite a few other people
Okay.
there as well.
Okay,
And also,
Thank you.
several of them been on our road already.
okay.
I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
So carried. Thank you. Thank you all for coming.